I'm Vicki. And I'm Dawna. And it's your time.
Hi, everyone. My name is Vicki, and this is It's Your Time podcast. Thank you for joining us. And in the other box over here, or there, whichever it is on your side, is my co-host, Dawna.
Hi, Vicky, and it's your time for everything. Today we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. Today's the solstice, so
I was going to say, Dawna goes, I don't know what we're going to talk about
yeah, right.
a few minutes ago, but now she's got lots of stuff to talk
Well, I just know we'll always talk about many things, so that's why I said. But it is the solstice today, and I'm all set for my holiday. I got my little bells and my red shirt. Ho ho ho. So
I feel like I needed a little yellow, a little courage this morning.
okay, good. Well, that's always a good thing. Yeah, so what's new?
What's new? Gosh, let me think. Well, stuff I think about. Always new.
Well, what was the thing you said something about distance from the instance. I
Oh,
like that.
yes, I had a little Facebook thing that I put up, and it had to do with actually was it, I don't know if it was the algorithm one, but because the last time we did our podcast, we were talking about algorithms a lot. And it's like we live in this big matrix of an algorithm, and this is what it is. And so, and to keep yourself in an algorithm, you have to keep yourself in a certain vibration because you want the algorithm of that frequency to affect you, right?
Right?
Because each frequency has its own dimension algorithm. It has its own physics associated with frequencies, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're in, one band, you can only see this much of a frequency. If you're in another band, you can see this much of a frequency. Sorry about that.
Oh,
Sorry
no worries.
about that arm thing. I am old.
Well, that's fine. Everyone is old. Everybody has that. No worries.
so one of the things that came to me as I was writing it was create a little distance from the instance. If you come across an instance that makes you cringe, that makes you sad, that makes you mad, put a little distance in there. Look at it from a higher perspective, look at it from a more holistic perspective and what it can bring to you and for the earth.
That's right. Yeah. That's good. And looking at it from and everybody said that to me. Well, look at it from a different perspective. Well, I didn't know how I could do that because I only have mine. So how do you do that? And I learned it shamanically. So that's how I learned it. Everybody needs to find whatever it is that will, just ask, how do I learn this? And your guides will show it to you in different ways until you understand it, until you get it.
And be sure you were open to those different ways because you're
Yeah.
not always going to, like, you might not hear anything, you might not see anything, but you might get little synchronicities or little things that happen out in your everyday life that makes you think about something in a different way.
Yes. And it will unfold.
It will unfold.
So that's what my what's new is unfolding because I'm seeing. I used to have to look way back to see changes other than my awakening. And that's always an ongoing forward moving thing
Mm-hmm.
or outward moving, I guess it is. but lately I have been able to determine more easily. Now I forgot what we were saying. What were we talking about?
Perspectives.
Different perspectives? No, it was. Oh man, I can't.
You
I
had
hate
already
when I
moved
do
past
that.
that.
I hate when I do that. But that it was the idea of seeing not just seeing things from different perspectives, seeing how things unfold. That's it. Unfolding.
Okay,
The
thank you.
unfolding is
Mhm,
it because and there are layers to the unfolding. So
mhm,
and if you were to just how I did it to really see it was all these catchphrases and catchwords that you hear, like dark night of the soul or shadow work or what you said, perspective to move away from, how do I not allow these things to bother me? Things, whatever it is, you just ask again, ask or say that word in your meditation, and these things may come to you to show you
mhm,
how that unfolded and how everything cycles back around. You'll
mhm.
see it when it cycles back.
And if you see something that does really upset you, bring yourself back out, put a little distance and say, how is this good for the collective? What does it bring to us? What does it clear out from our collective trauma? Just by being, some things need to be seen to be cleared out. And if
Yes,
you don't see it, it's never going to get cleared out. But so if you see something that's very upsetting, you are seeing it, which means you are clearing a little of that trauma for that collective trauma that is held within.
that's right. That's true. And it's our responsibility when you're feeling that deep emotion, a negative emotion about something, that is definitely they use the word trigger. It's a trigger for you to say, stop thinking of what it's doing for you. Think about like what you said. What is this doing for the collective? Because then that's totally distancing you,
Mhm.
your own emotions right
Right.
there.
It's like being up in the heavens and looking down on earth
Yep.
and seeing things. Okay, well, and you have to take the long view,
Yeah.
like even in World War II, horrible things happened, but 20 years later, there are new cities, there is new trade, there is, new tourism, it's everything takes a long time, but you have to see it from a more holistic perspective.
Yeah, that's right. And how these things unfolded, you can also you can use that within your own learning, how
Mhm.
things unfold.
Yeah.
So,
I do not like things to happen that way. It totally does not sit well with me. But to be able to bring myself to that different level, you have to see in a different way.
that's very good. So for my what's new and the unfolding, I what the journey I was looking at this morning was how my channeling has changed because I was introduced to another being today. And then I was able to connect as and be the speaker of the land, which that has been hard for me because I'm looking at it from the 3D perspective. So it has unfolded to where all of my guides are telling me this is what you need to do.
You need to
But
embody. You need to
embody it. Yeah,
embody.
that's right. That's right. That's it. And and they always say, of course, it's your free will, if you want to or not. But your perspective is the only one that will be like this in this instance, connecting to these different energies.
Mhm.
Other people connect to them already. It's just that, just like, with Ann Tucker or with, I'm trying to think of all the other channelers, Lee Harris and his Z's, they're beings from who knows where. We don't know. So hello, puppy.
I know.
The doggy
Puppies
just
over
barked.
there.
So, everyone it's coming through a different entity, myself, when I'm doing this.
Mhm.
So, what I saw today as being like they say, everyone can channel this and everyone channels it in different ways. When you say you feel like you're close to the earth, it's that same energy. It's not like shamanically we call the earth Pachamama, or you call it Gaia, or there are so many names that everyone
Mhm.
has for Mother Earth. Mother Earth is pretty general in understanding. This is a different frequency. This is a frequency of the land. And the way that my celestial helpers explained it is kind of in a pyramid. shape or a triangle, which they're telling me is I need to delve into that. That it's a very important something that I had seen or thought of or was brought to me a few months ago about the triangle, and which I'll get into another time. But the idea that it's powerful, and they were saying that the triangle in this instance consists of me and me as the speaker of the land and Pachamama. And so I was like, oh, so not me and the speaker of the land. And they said, no, the speaker of the land is you. It's not separate, but you are separate from the speaker of the land. It was really, really heavy. It was hard for me to get, but I did get it. And I did connect with them, or with it, with that energy. I became the speaker of the land. And like you said, I have to own it. And I'm really not sure why, other than the 3D end of it. That's the part that I'm kind of hesitant about, because how people will accept, oh, she thinks she's the speaker.
Well, now you have to let that go.
I have to let that go because it's me. I'm me, and that is something else, and Pachamama is something else. And when we're connected, it makes a powerful energy. And so, and that energy is because I've asked to be able to heal myself, to be able to heal hands-on healing, which we're going to have a hands-on healer upcoming. I'm so excited. But anyway, but yeah, that's what I wanted to learn. So anyway, so the unfolding of it being that, I did the automatic writing. I thought I was talking to my grandfather, and then the beings came in. I didn't know who they were, and that unfolded into who they weren't able to give me a name. They just said that they're light beings in a collective. So they didn't have a name. So I gave them the name. And I thought they were from the Pleiadian. So I said the Pleiadian helpers. And then I realized that might put some people off. I keep having to think of how the presentation of it, I guess, is what I'm thinking. Anyway, so, then there's celestial helpers. Then along came the speaker of the land, all these things that are unfolding. And then today they introduced me to a whole other being, whose name means like the name Dondre, but it ends with HTI, which means human technology interaction or interface. Well, that was something coined by a company, but it was just the idea of those words. Like, what does that mean? Human and technology. What are you? So. But I saw a being. So this person being has a body. So anyway, so this
and he is interfacing with you.
And interfacing with me. That's right.
Yes.
So it's, so that's what's new for me is I have this Dondreti, and that's who I've been speaking with. And then I spoke with the speaker of the land. But I always do these things on Sunday. I wish I could do this every day. Eventually I'll have time. When I retire, I'll be able to do this all the time. So that's my what's new, and I'm so excited. So, how about I'm going to say.
I was going to say my what's new is.
I thought you did yours. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like I don't really have one. It's more like inspirations now.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is it inspirations and synchronicities?
That's it.
It's not integrations and not misinterpretations or whatever.
It's not misinterpretations.
Whatever I was calling it, I don't know.
Inspirations
and synchronicities. Yay. Okay.
Well, I have my little notebook that I've been keeping,
Yes.
My original little notebook that I can
what
have.
An original idea. I love it.
One of the things is, I like to see like the big picture of some things. I'm an Aquarian, I'm a little visionary. I see things differently from some people.
Good.
But I like my Korean shows now, as long as they're dubbed in English. And one thing I've noticed is they have been clearing a lot of domestic abuse energy out of their culture.
Good.
Which means, we have all had domestic abuse, but they are actually a lot of their light shows have an undercurrent of domestic abuse that the younger generation is calling out.
Good.
And so that really kind of got me. It's like with social media, with the shows that we watch, if you look deeper, you will see a clearing of ancestral trauma.
Mhm.
And that is one of them. So that's something I saw. Another one is, it was on the 3i Atlas. It was on the 19th.
Mhm.
And that morning, like, I got a little vision in my head, and I'm always a little analytical, like, did this come because I've been thinking about it and I know this is coming, or did this come as a vision, right? And so what I saw was like a little blue star, and I don't see colors very often, but a little blue star, and then right after it came a little Kachina doll with a golden skirt of some
Mhm.
sort. And I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't know. And then I heard the words power grab. And I didn't know what that means, but I think somebody's trying to grab a little power right now, but that's not surprising, right?
Well,
And
it's more like they're grasping because it's leaving their fingers. But
exactly. So
yeah,
they're trying to grab as fast as they can.
yeah.
And so then I saw a couple other things which, are neither here nor there actually. But when I went and meditated on it that day, I just kind of laid down and I just kind of connected with the whole 3i Atlas. What is this supposed to bring? And I felt myself being lifted.
Oh,
Like, I wasn't as heavy as I was. I was being lifted. And so I thought, well, where does this feeling come from in your everyday life? Because it's a very familiar feeling. That feeling comes from when you meet somebody special who is going to be somebody special in your life, and you feel this thing, right? And that doesn't come along very often. And it comes along like, I've had a few best friends in my life at certain times in my life. And it comes from when you meet somebody who's going to be a new best friend in your life. You get, whoa, somebody
yeah.
that you feel like you can be yourself with. And
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
I met that with you. I had that with you. And it's like these people should know the value that they hold in your life. Right. And so then I reached out to another friend of mine and I wanted her to know the value that she held. Which I'm not sure how she took it, and I hope she didn't take it wrong. And I don't think she did. But anyway, because I was just
How
coming from
could
a
you take that wrong?
yeah,
I,
I don't know. Because I don't know, maybe some people think I'm clingy, me and my fears. But
no.
it's the value that, you know, people come into your life at different times for different reasons. And every now and then you feel this whoosh when
Hmm.
they come in,
Hmm.
and that is somebody special in your life. And I wanted them to know that they are special in my life because, that doesn't come along all that often.
That's
Now,
right.
when you can look back and go, this person was special, this person was special, this person was special, and we all so do not take the time to kind of revisit those special moments. And so that was what it all brought up for me was
Wow.
the feeling of love and how I've gotten that feeling of love from special people in my life.
Do you ever think of how you make others feel that they feel
No,
that you're special? Well,
no.
you should, because you are, because you're one of those people in my life, and a very large, very large person of, oh, I'm going to cry.
Well, thank
Don't
you. That
cry.
was
I don't
nice.
want to cry.
We're not going there.
No,
We're
that's
not
not correct.
going there.
So, but well, you're talking about the 3i Atlas, which is duh. I should have thought of talking about that today. because
That's what my notebook is for me to remember.
yes. Well, I've already posted about these things, so I forget when it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's nothing new that I need to talk about, so I forget. But it is something new to our podcast audience. And my connection has always been of love. A friend told me that she took my advice on how to connect, and she felt lighter, like you said, she felt
Mhm.
lighter. And like, the worries are still there, but they just don't seem as big, that
Mhm.
sort of thing. So I thought, hey, that's a good thing. That's great. What I felt on Friday when I connected was the love is like a love that you've been waiting for, which is kind of what it felt like to you. The love that I would feel when I would hug my teddy bear when I was really little. And then when I was later on, maybe in elementary school, if I hadn't seen my parents, like, because, my dad traveled and my mom, they did things. And when they would come home, the anticipation of giving them that hug and because
Mhm.
is like not unrequited love. That's not the right word, but it's like that. It's love that you have that you haven't been able to give, and then you just let it go. And so that's kind of how I thought of it. But as I was doing this, it was a meditation, not a channel. But as things come in when you're meditating anyway. So it said its name was Dillus, Dillus, and I just went, oh, okay, that's a nice name. It sounds kind of like what we call it. Atlas, Dillus. And then today, I finally, as you always look up these names right away, I didn't look it up until today. And what it meant, it's the main thing is that it's the legendary son of Urei, Eurei. I don't know who that is, but all of the other definitions of it had to do with heart and emotion.
Mhm.
Yeah, and because it comes up with, in Arabic it means this and this and the, and in the U.S. this is common, for it to be a courageous, strong man or
Mhm.
whatever it was. There was so many different things, but the main thing was that it has to do with heart energy, and this is big because that's what everyone is saying, and like Dr. Clement is saying, open your heart. This is what we're supposed to be doing. So
Mhm.
I feel like you can say it's just a rock flying through the air, and because it is, but there's nothing. I feel. I mean, there's nothing. I can't say there's nothing wrong with saying this because it's not wrong. It's right. What I'm feeling is it is bringing a new kind of love for everyone if you just open yourself up to it.
And that's one of the things, I was okay, so let's just say it's a rock, right? We'll just leave it as a rock flying through our solar system in a
Mhm.
weird little angle.
It's very quickly too. Yes.
Right. But just the simple, and it's kind of like synchronicities to me. If you think about them, you have made them into something, because we are that powerful, we are that creative.
Mm.
If you think, oh, well, this feather is from my mom, boom, you have made a connection. Didn't
Right.
matter if the feather was just a feather flying off of a bird. It was your creating that connection that made that connection happen.
Right.
Because we are all in a constant flow with the universe. And so, my synchronicities are different from your synchronicities. It's all in the energy and the thoughtfulness that we put into them is what makes them true and real for you.
That's true. And you have to believe you that what you are thinking when these things happen,
Mm-hmm.
that's the first step, to
Mm-hmm.
believe that these things are true.
Mm-hmm.
That there's even just, there's a possibility that it could be this, and then more things will open. They
Mm-hmm.
definitely will open up to
Yeah.
you if you say, "Oh, it's just a rock. It's just going to be a rock, or it's just going to be a feather." So
But if you see it, and like I honestly did feel an upliftment happen when I thought about it. And so that was weird because,
no,
there
that's
you
not
go.
weird. That's good.
It was
That's
good. It was very good.
that's your opening your lower chakras. That's I'm always shutting mine down because they're always too loud. So yeah. So and Three Eye Atlas, and what was the other thing?
Oh, well, today is the solstice, and I did have a little dream last night.
Yes.
Um, it was, it's one of those, well, we all have little weird dreams, right? So the what I remember from the dream is a couple people saying that it was Shabbat. It was Shabbat. They had to go have their Shabbat, right? So I had to look up because I know it's a Jewish thing, but I didn't really know what it was. So it's like it was a day of rest. So today is our day of rest because it's the solstice, and we need to incorporate all of these energies. And a lot of times, resting helps your body to incorporate those energies. So
yes,
that was my Shabbat part of it. And then something about I was trying to get home. I'm always trying to get home. I haven't actually been trying to get home for quite a while, but I was trying to get home in this dream, and it was kind of just a very few people, and then it turned into a party. It was like I saw two like different mansions, and they were having a party. And I was looking for my keys.
You own a mansion somewhere?
No, I was just in it. There was all these people. I was looking for my keys, and I found my purse, but my keys were not in it, so my keys fell out. So I had to go look for them. And one person had a flashlight on their phone, and they stuck it in my purse so I could look for the keys. So symbolically, that is somebody giving me a light to look into a way home. It's like,
interesting.
right? You kind of have to use your imagination, but I had gotten this light. I was looking for my key in the purse. It wasn't in the purse, so it's obviously not anything physical that I have. But it was a light to help me find my way home. I thought that was kind of nice.
Well, the speaker of the land is that is the energy of a grid that connects. You know how everybody is where they should be at certain times. So that's part of the energy of the speaker of the land, that it is that grid. So like I need to be here, and wherever I am, I take that connection with me. But there are only certain places that they want me to go, that will show up in my life for me to go, because they don't want me to go anywhere right now. But the speaker of the land will tell you where you need to go. Not me, as in I'll channel it, because I would never put anything in cement for someone else like that.
It wouldn't be you, would it?
Well, but I'm channeling it. But the speaker of the land, like if you connect to that energy, it will tell you. That's all I'm saying. You could just say in a meditation, I'm going to meditate, speaker of the land, tell me where my home is.
Okay.
And a lot of people should be doing that now anyway, because our homes are not necessarily on Earth. If the one that people are trying to go to, it's where you came from. It's out there somewhere. And supposedly, according to Bashar, Daryl Anka, who channels Bashar, said that this will all be coming out by the year 2027. We will all know where our home was, and I feel like that's exciting to me.
And another thing with the word Shabbat, when I looked it up,
I'm sorry.
Besides that's okay. I had forgotten about it. Besides the day of rest, it also, in like paganism and Wick, whatever, the
Wiccan,
it means either the solstice or the equinox. It means like big happenings, and so it was like on the solstice. So I thought that was kind of cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
So I had what was my solstice? See, I post these. Once I post them, they're out of my head. It's like, I guess I'd have to look it up, because I did have a thing about the solstice this morning that was mine and mine alone. That was, I know what it was. I woke up. I had a dream. That's it. You started talking about a dream. That's what made me think of it. I had a dream that there were many dreams. The last one that I dreamt was that I needed to get up. And I kept saying, I don't want to get up because it's Sunday. Why would I want it? And then I saw my body go like this. Like
you're getting up.
And I was like, okay, I'm going to get up. But from that, I remembered this dream And I woke up and I didn't know what time it was. Oh, I know what the dream was, that everything stopped. Like, you know how they do that on TV where everything just,
Mhm.
or you played that game, statue,
Yeah.
whatever, tag, and everything froze just for a minute, and then it started going backwards. And not like we're walking backwards, but like things were tilting and it was going the other way. So, and everybody started walking a different way. And when I woke up and I looked at the clock and it was six something, which I know 6:50 something, which is that's when the solstice was, when this everything stops physically out there, everything stops and then it starts going the other way. And so I've never had one that was that prophetic. I mean,
Wow.
at the time, but
Wow.
and I looked at the time and it was because they said somebody said it was 10:30 Eastern, so that would be 7:30 our time, but this was like 6:50. So maybe that was when it stopped and then it's going to I don't know how fast it goes.
So the solstice has this energy. It's pulling people back and it's rerouting you into a
Oh
different
yeah, that
place.
too. That
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
But that's how they say the sun and the earth, that's what, it's not like it's stopped. The earth doesn't stop. The
No.
sun
Well,
doesn't
no.
stop, but it starts going because every day when you wake up, it's in the sun, it comes up in a different
Uh,
place. And then when the solstice hits, it starts doing it back this way. When you wake up, that's where this when the sun comes up. So that's what it was. It hit that point and now it's going back the other way. So isn't that cool? That's so
yeah.
cool. I love that. Thanks for reminding me of that. That was an interesting dream. I had a lot of interesting dreams last night. But I slept well, so I love those nights. So sometimes you'll have restless nights where a lot of weird dreams, and
Mhm.
um, only ever had over the last 3 days, maybe there was only one dream where I woke up and went, "What the heck was that?" Oh,
Yeah.
but when I did wake up with the solstice, my heart was pounding in my head.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I saw that happening where it all stopped, um, in my dream, the first, like, usually the first thing my first reaction is fear to those things, right? Or something foreign is happening, right? So you're like, oh, some kind of concern. But I was so proud of myself that at that moment I didn't. I just looked at it with curiosity. And then when I woke up and that was happening, I thought, I wonder if, like, that whatever happens in your sleep where you stop breathing, maybe that's what happened.
Sleep
So
apnea?
yeah, so maybe
Because I've had
so
that.
maybe when I woke up and everything was pounding, I just took a few breaths and everything went back to normal. But because I was like, if this keeps, I started that I worried about. That in the dream I wasn't worried, but when I in real life, but it calmed right down and it went away. It was fine. So that's what I thought. Maybe my body is saying wake up. But that was later. Wake up, and my body went up in the air. That was cool. I liked that one. Anyway, weird dream.
Yeah.
So, so we had Three Eye Atlas. We had the solstice. You
Mhm.
had Shabbat. What else? There's something else that's going on now. What is it? We have, Hanukkah has been going on. Started
Yeah,
last
it's
week.
it's
Is
a
it
very
still? Is it
energetic
the last?
time.
It is. And then now we have, our the Christmas holidays are here, and that, I was very happy to be able to celebrate happily this year and not be so sad.
Oh,
So
good,
I
good.
started, yeah, I started Christmas music at my regular time for the first time since my folks died.
Oh, good,
So
good.
yeah, that was
You know,
exciting.
the energies in this planet are just going to be, well, we had, of course, the full moon, all the
That
energy.
was it, the full moon. Yeah.
Okay.
No, new moon.
We had a
New
new moon,
new
right?
moon.
Right. And realize when things like this happen in this short period of time, like three-eye atlas, solstice, new moon, um, the holidays, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, so forth, it creates an energy that the earth does absorb because we are creator beings, we create energy,
Hmm.
and this energy is palpable. Okay, so
Right.
it's building on each other. It's building on each other. So I've been hearing a lot of sirens. It's like we've been noticing some people are driving a little bit more erratically than normal. So there's all this energy that is surrounding our planet now in different types of ways. And you throw in a few other things that are happening. And
things that are being uncovered and disclosed. Yeah.
yeah, so all these energies are just building upon each other. So just be aware.
So the polarities are, again, the polarities are so close right now that, they're going to smack together at some point. So, and that's the other thing is for the new year, I was going to ask my guides to give me something. Maybe we could do, maybe next week we could do the celestial helpers. Maybe they could do something, but they have talked about, and they gave me this months ago, and then I'm watching these podcasts and people are saying the same things that my helpers said. And when I say that, oh, it's the same, and they're like, why are you surprised? I know I shouldn't be surprised. It's just I'm human.
We tap into those collective energies that are circling around the planet. Like we want to, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this.
Well, no, I think, in this instance, they're talking about like that I don't, like you don't believe us. You still don't believe when we say these things. It's not that I don't believe you. I believe you when you say it, and I believe you when they happen. I'm just so surprised that it comes through me. I think that's what it is. It's like I'm not that smart, but yeah, I guess I am. If I was doing like the astrology, what's his name? Who was on Amrit? He's very, he's very gruff. But he's
an old astrologer.
He's been doing this for years, but he's very forthright and straightforward. I mean, he's like me, WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get, and I'll tell you the truth, and totally honest. And but even the things that he was saying brought back things that the helpers have said. So they had, I can't remember exactly when, whatever, but the next thing they talk about is February being a big thing. And then he said February, and then April. And they said April would be, what's the word? Not calming. April would be like a respite month, but it was like a resting. Resting is the word they used. April is a resting month, but some of the February stuff goes into April, and then April and February into March, and then March and April would be resting. But it's some big stuff coming, and it has to do.
Exciting.
Well, on the one hand,
it can be.
You could say, "Oh my God, there's some big things coming." Yeah, if you are not in love and light, then they may look like that to other people, and they may look like that to me too at first, and then I just
that's why you have to look for what it brings you and not for what it's doing to you.
That's right. What is this doing for me? That's it right there. Exactly. For me or for the collective. I like that better because, I mean, we're not just here. I mean, we're here for our own soul's growth. Number one. That's number one. But then the next thing should be, for the good of all should be the next thing. So that's so exciting. So do you have last words?
Well, I do. Surprise!
Okay. Yay!
Well, how all of a sudden like things will hit me in a certain way, and I'll want to revisit that whole thing. And one of the things that I was talking about in my head, I was talking about ascended masters, right? And all of a sudden it's like, don't call us ascended masters anymore. A lot of us are walking on this earth with you, going through this process again, and learning our way again. Now, I'm not saying I'm ascended masters. There are some people who will claim that, but I do believe I am walking a path to become a master.
Right. We all.
So these ascended masters don't want the word ascended, because they are just masters. Okay. Because they're not necessarily ascended. Because when you use also the word ascended, it gives you space. It's kind of like when it's me and the word worship. Sorry about that. It's like, people use the word worship in different ways. And to me, when I'm thinking about worshiping, it's like I'm kneeling at an altar, looking at, Jesus on the cross and worshiping. That's not what they want us to do. They
No.
want us to learn. They don't want us to worship, which puts space between us. They
And
want us to embody their teachings.
they
And
walk beside us.
yes.
We don't need to be looking up at them as though we're less than them.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's when the ascended masters came in and said, don't call us ascended. We are walking side by side with you.
That's so cool. That's
So that came to me. So
no, that's good. That's wonderful. I mean, that's a good last word that, we're all masters. We're all mastering. And some, there is no person better than me or worse than me. I've said that for years, but there are people that are very annoying to me.
okie doke.
Yes,
Well, you are a 3D human.
yes, I am. So, but that's something that I am trying to master is, to not, and I've said that, well, what good is that bringing to the collective, whatever. And a lot of it's just annoying, stupid old lady stuff, like, how young girls talk, the way they form their words and how they pronounce words, and it just drives me crazy. I really don't like Valley. It's like started with Valley speak, and it drives me nuts. Some of them, but in hip hop music and things like that. I mean, some of it's good, I guess, but I'm old, so it's not my thing. And country music. I'm trying to get over all of those the things that annoy me.
Good.
Because somebody likes them.
Yes,
it doesn't
they
mean
do.
it doesn't mean that I'm a bad person because they trigger something in me.
You just don't resonate with it.
That's right. That's a good way to put it. But with country music, it is a trigger. It's something that's triggering me from maybe a past life, or I don't know what. I'm still trying to figure that one out. That's ever since I was about 3 or 4, and I went to my friend's house and they were playing something like Patsy Cline or something. And, well, I'm a snob. I can't help musically. I'm a snob, but I am at a point in my life where I see that there is good music and bad music, and it doesn't have to do with a genre. It has to do with the energy that's coming from it. It has to do with the talent of the person and how they're channeling that talent, channeling it through them to show their talent. So there are some country songs that are okay. So,
Yeah, when I first moved to Arizona, country was all over the place. And I did listen to country for quite a while. So I did get an appreciation for country music.
yeah.
It's not my favorite music. It's not what I listen to because I listen to oldies because, that is me. I am just a 16-year-old girl around. That's what I resonate with. But there is value. There is always value.
That's right. That's it. So I guess my last word would be I'm working on things that are triggering and that are annoying because
Well, good.
that stuff it's going to be there. So running.
You can look at it and get it out.
Yeah, I mean, I can turn it off. I can run away from it and all that. And there are ways that I could avoid having to hear these commercials. I mute them or whatever. But they're still going to be there. So I just have, and that was a big thing that hit me this week in when you get angry or when you get frustrated. How is that energy that you are creating helping your body? It's not. It's not helping at all. So, it's not. So what it annoys you, just get away from it, ignore it. If you can't find something good in it, that's okay. Maybe there's nothing good in it for you. Maybe you're supposed to be far away from it.
Right. And, if you can get away from the annoying aspect of it and just go, well, that is not for me,
Right.
just take that annoying aspect out and just realize it's not something that you have to be concerned with.
There you go. And it's not, they're not doing it just to piss me off.
They are not doing it just to, I talked to my husband. He's not cutting in front of you because he hates you.
Yeah, he doesn't
Cutting in
even
front of
know
you 'cause
you.
he can.
That's right. He's cutting in
'Cause
front of
he's
you
late
because
for something.
he wants to get there. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't
Well,
take it personally.
yeah. Oh, no, don't even get me started on that stuff. Oh my Lord. Peace, 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 peace. That's me driving peace, peace, peace. But I did come to the realization that, it's not going to change back. They're not going to, and the way that I speak, my parents didn't like it when I was a teenager, and we would say, "Oh God," all the time, or, um, he goes, and there are some really, yeah,
Like.
I say like, I still
Me
say that
too.
all the time. So it's just a part of our lexicon now.
Yes.
You can't,
Each
I mean,
generation has their own lexicon.
that's right. Jargon, whatever you want to call it.
Like,
So,
I
and
don't know half of the stuff that they use for texting. I learned
yeah,
the TTYL from you because I didn't know what that was.
yeah, there was one that came
Be
up
right
here.
back. Yeah,
BRB. Well, I
yeah,
used to have a whole list because my brother sent it to me, and
yeah.
we had to learn all those with DOS because we didn't have emojis. We just that's why we
Yeah.
did that. But there was another one that somebody said the other day, and I don't know. I don't know what it means. But there are some that you can figure out. There was a meme. I can't remember all the letters in it now, but it said, if you something like if you grew up in the 80s or the 70s and
Oh
80s,
yeah,
and
those
and
things.
it you'll know what this means, and it's all the first letters of, you better get your ass inside before I, whatever.
Oh,
Stop crying before I make you, make you cry,
that kind
whatever.
of stuff.
I never got that one either. I
Yeah.
never understood that. I'm like, I'm already crying. Yeah, but you don't have a reason. Oh, you know what? I did have a reason. They just did not,
What?
they just didn't want to know what it was. They thought it was a small reason. See, that's another thing that I'm looking at differently as far as how parents back then used to, it was a belittling. I mean, they didn't mean to do it. It's just how things were, you know. But they didn't mean to belittle, but well, maybe they did, but they were, that's belittling another person's emotions, and that doesn't happen nowadays with kids.
Well,
And thank God for that,
and generationally speaking, and this is how we are all becoming more conscious, more aware, is kids weren't thought to be a value add. Kids were just thought to be there,
Yeah,
not that they were their own person, because this is how we were all kind of brought up. Well, not all of us, obviously,
I
but
was. I was.
it
Children
comes
should be
from
seen and not heard.
exactly, and
Yeah.
that's what a lot of the women, we were chattel.
Yeah.
We were not value added. We were just something to get heirs out of, and
That's
so
true.
there's all these consciousness raising things that people aren't not well people you can see that our consciousness is raising just by the way we treat each other.
That's right.
And the way we now respect children, where we didn't really respect children before. They were just something that annoyed you
I
when you got
always
home from work.
I have always respected children and animals more than most when I was little.
That's
Yeah.
because you were from a new generation.
I thought you were going to say it's because I was from another planet.
I'm sticking on Earth.
Okay, that's good. That's good. But I've always, and so my parents looked at that as something that was good about me. Oh, she just loves, children love her and animals love her. Well, yeah, it's, little old ladies love me too. It's, I never understood until I was older, and I was, oh yeah, because you don't know how. Well, my mom always knew how to talk to us. It took until we were articulate.
She was a mother.
Yeah, but no, but some mothers aren't. Some
Well,
mothers
no, I'm not.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, for the most part, mothers have a mothering instinct. Not all mothers, no, I realize that, but I think a
Yeah.
lot of that stems from them not getting love when they were a child.
Well, yeah, that's, and we are curing those generational
Yes, we
traumas,
are. Yes, we are.
not just alleviating, we're curing them. So,
By bringing them up and talking about
and
them.
by talking about it, that's right. And when you say, when we're saying these things to kids, I'm remembering, it's that old adage of, oh, stop complaining. I walked to school in the snow 10 miles uphill
Miles.
both ways, and, things like that. That's not how we're explaining these things to them now. We're saying, as though they're adults, we're saying, this is how it was. It's not, this is, we had a harder time than you. That's up to the children to decide whether it was or not. And they will have their discernment working a lot sooner by doing that.
Each generation has their own trials and tribulations. And I think our generation is the social media generation, learning how to not let other people's criticisms make you a lesser person.
I really think that's why it's here. I've said that before. That's one of that's a good takeaway from social media. And then, and then we're going into AI, which is, I didn't want anything to do with it.
We've been having AI ever since we've had a phone. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. That's
in one respect or another. It's
but they just did stuff for us. They didn't answer deep questions like they're doing now. They didn't, it didn't answer, like when I put in, what does Dillus mean? Dillus. It came up with a whole bunch of stuff, whereas it used to be you'd have to go to dictionary.com and type it in, and and then it would give you Oxford or Webster's ideas of whoever writes those.
It brings so much into our lives. We just have to realize we are the creative beings, and don't let AI take over your creativity. No. Don't just rely on AI. Because you have that inside of you.
But for me, being such a creative being, maybe that's why I was not afraid of it, but why I said, oh, I don't need that. I'm creative myself. But then I see there are good uses for it, because it would have taken a lot longer to get that answer, if you didn't go into AI and get that. So, and there's AI at my job too now. So
AI is everywhere.
That's right. And it's not going to take us over. It's like people say that about, if the aliens are real, they're going to kill us. It's like, dude, they've been watching us for the whole time we've been here. If they wanted to kill us, we'd be dead. So,
if they didn't see value in our species, we would be a different species.
That's true. And
our species is evolving.
That's the idea. That's the idea. That's what they want. A counter to what, I don't know what you want to call it. There's so many names for it. The Matrix, I guess you would say, that, they set this up. And that's one thing that I almost laugh. I mean, it's not funny, but it's really cool to watch people see that, when they realize it's a Matrix, that all of this was set up to keep us down.
But that's no.
Yes.
No. Well, if that's the way you look at it, I look at it from a different angle.
What's your angle?
My angle is, we are eternal beings. We are souls. We wanted an experience.
We definitely
wanted to experience it all.
Yes, I agree with that. I would never counter that.
So that is the perspective I take, is that even the bad things that we don't agree with, it's an experience, and it is our job to come to how we relate to that experience.
Yes, but the things that have been intricately designed to keep us sick, to keep us, all of those things, that's what I'm talking about. That to keep us down, to dumb us down, to keep us, to acquiesce to, Madison Avenue and everything.
We were saddled with an economy that runs on money.
Yeah.
We were saddled, and I'm using the word saddled because it is something that is put on your back. Look at that.
Right.
We are saddled with not treating our earth correctly.
Right. Right.
We are saddled with all these things, but we can rise above.
Well, we are. We are
And
rising
we are
above.
rising above.
We wouldn't see that it's there in that way if we weren't rising above. So I'm not saying we're not rising above. You know me, I'm a sunshine. I'm definitely always on the good side.
Sometimes you are.
Well, no, but I'm bringing it to light. These things are
Yes, you
coming to
are.
light.
Yes.
And that's my point, is when I see someone who is saying, wait a minute, they're like the medicine commercials that are on TV in the 80s. That's when that started with the HMOs, and you have any idea why the HMOs were? This is all the stuff that I've gone through, and that's what my ex was good for. One of the good things he was good for me to open my eyes to all this. The Brandenburg, the whole thing. So and all of that.
We do have a cabal.
Yeah, that.
We do have people who just want all the money in the world. We do, we
And-
do have
and
people
they
who
want-
control.
And that's comes from the Kali Yuga is going the other way now. Those
Yes.
are leaving. That type of idea is leaving, and we, the creators, and the ones who are here now to awaken and see that, are the creators of the new Earth, whatever it's going to be.
Right.
So I never had a question. I never disbelieved that. I'm just saying, my point was, it's fun, not fun, but it's interesting when you see somebody see that.
Yes.
And like yesterday or the day before, or whatever it was, the things that were being disclosed, I was like, oh yeah, okay, all that, I don't care about that crap. I hate the whole thing that people were being trafficked or whatever it was that was going on. I try not to get too deep into that. I just see that it's a really bad energy, and I just send it unconditional love.
It's coming out that it is pretty widespread. So it's interesting to see how this whole thing evolves.
And that's part of the disclosure, that it's not just alien disclosure, it's disclosure of everything.
Oh, no. Yes.
And this is going, that's why everything's got to fall down. This is part of it all falling down.
Yes.
And then somebody posted something like, I can't believe that it took opening up a dead man's files for you to believe that this happened. I believed it long before that. I don't know. I did
not realize the depths of it. So that's pretty interesting.
Okay, well, the whole thing is abhorrent to me, so I don't really want to know the details. I just know that, you know what it is? It's an opposite. It's the opposite. It's a polarity. It's well, it's even worse than that, but you know what I mean. It's like, I'm here and it's there. I send love to, and I, what's the word? It's like I'm almost grateful to the people that went through that and got out of it, and especially the ones who spoke up. That's why
they are the ones that are bringing it all to light.
That's right. And so, and
we have to see this.
Yes, we do. So, oh man, I did not mean it that way at all. I guess I didn't say it right. But anyway, my point was that it's good to see people waking up to that.
Yes. Yes.
Even though it's an abhorrent bad thing.
Yes.
It's good. And even other people talking about, shootings that are happening or whatever's going on, all of these things that are going on, people are looking at it yes, it's a negative thing and it's a bad thing, but they're looking at it in a different way, and it's making people more compassionate. That's another thing. So that's a good thing. And not just angry. And you get angry, but people are turning it into something other than.
Yes. Anger is an emotion that can be used for good.
Right.
If you channel it correctly.
That's it. Exactly. Yes. So, and that's a part of the unfolding. That's another thing of the unfolding. That's another word I'm seeing everything in a different way when you think of how things are unfolding. So anyway, I don't remember what my last word was, But
Unfolding. Let's use the first
well,
word.
that was my. I thought that was my what's new. It's my theme of the day.
There
So,
you go.
and I'm wearing my holiday
Yes, they twinkle.
sparklies
Very cute.
and my little bells, and yes, and I hope everyone has the happiest of holidays for whatever holidays they celebrate, or if you don't, I hope you just have a glorious time.
There's a song. There's a song for that.
There are many songs.
Yes.
There's what was the I had that joy to the world song about Three Eye Atlas. That just came out of me. That was just the weirdest thing. I was like, hey, joy is a good thing. So feel joy, feel the joy,
Yes.
even if things are tough.
Feel the joy of the season because it is there to uplift you.
Very good. Thank you. I love that. All right.
All
So
right.
another one in the can, as they say. So have a happy holidays, and it's your time for unfolding.
It is your
Look
time
at
for
the
unfolding. We like
unfolding.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Bye.